Ever wonder why a joke that once had you rolling on the floor can suddenly feel flat? Sitcoms rely on running gags to build familiarity and create inside jokes with their audience. But sometimes those jokes just overstay their welcome. And let's dive into some examples of sitcom gags that audiences grew to actively dislike. It's a delicate balance. A well executed running gag can become iconic, a shorthand for laughter and shared experience. Um, but push it too far, repeat it too often, or simply fail to evolve it. And you risk alienating the very viewers you're trying to entertain. Um, it's a common problem, and even the best shows aren't immune. Um, Remember Ross Geller's insistence that he and Rachel were on a break in, and what started as a somewhat understandable attempt to explain his actions quickly devolved into a tired excuse, constantly dragged up and used to justify his behavior. Um, the other the other characters and frankly the audience were over it pretty quickly. Then there's Sheldon Cooper's Bazinga from initially a quirky exclamation after a clever remark. It became a grating catchphrase amplified by merchandise and overexposure. It felt less like a spontaneous expression and more like a forced attempt at humor. Um, Lily Aldrin's mysterious and frankly overused expletive in was another example to while the show hinted at an inspiration, the gag itself felt forced and lacked any real comedic payoff. It became more of an annoyance than a source of laughter. Had a brilliant running gag with Jerry Gergic's name, but even that wore thin after a while. While initially funny, the constant misnaming felt less like a playful ribbing and more like a tired trope. Thankfully, the show eventually gave Jerry the respect he deserved. Uh, Teddy's persistent attempts to win Amy back in became increasingly uncomfortable. Uh, what started as a quirky character trait devolved into a repetitive and unwelcome plot device. Sometimes a joke just needs to be retired. And I have this 17 or 17 to the 17 mats of the creature, and it was a side based, while a classic trope, it lacked depth and became predictable, damage diverse. The character existed almost solely to serve the gag, leaving little room for development or genuine humor. Uh, Ultimately, the success of a running gag depends on timing, context, and a willingness to evolve. And when a joke stops landing, it's time to move on, and the joke that we context sentence. Otherwise, you risk turning a source of laughter into a source of frustration, and who wants that? What about you? You know, what sitcom running gags drove you crazy? Let us know in the comments below. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you